Hey guys, welcome back to the JV Money Show. I know it's been a while, but we're back into it, checking out this video, talking about, I think they're going to be talking about why why Tesla wasn't included in the S&P 500 and the fallout for that. We're going to be reacting to this video. It's on the channel. We're just going to do reactions and talk about what we see and the future of Tesla and stocks and everything. So as of right now, the stock is at 411. So I made a huge comeback. It's up 10%. It's at $38. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. So let's see what they have to say about it not being included in the S&P 500.
We are going to be chatting Tesla right now. That stock is down about a third of a percentage point right now. Now that stock had been
it's way up now. This is a few days ago.
This week, so to chat more all about the electric vehicle company, we are joined now by Dan Ives, Wedbush Securities Managing Director. Dan, good to see you and to talk to you again. I first want to start with the snub that Tesla got from the S&P 500. I think a lot of people were expecting that it was going to be included. Why do you think that the S&P 500 said no?
Okay, let me give you my thoughts on why I think before I watch this. I think it's because the profit, it was mostly because of the regulatory credits, and the S&P is kind of like looking at that saying like, hey, that's not vehicle sales. That's my thought, but it doesn't matter because, okay, let's go into it. Let's keep watching.
Yeah, and we've talked about that. I mean, that was a shock to the street, and obviously you saw it in terms of the stock reaction. And look, and part of it is that it was viewed that they sort of checked every box. So the fact that they didn't get inclusion from an indexing perspective, you saw a lot of sort of momentum come out of
the
stock.
They did check every box.
Look, we do think that they will get in, whether it's next quarter or the quarter after. It's all about that profitability trajectory. Still more to prove in terms of the S&P 500 decision makers. But I think now, at least the stock, we can focus back on core fundamentals in terms of battery day and deliveries, rather than what I view as maybe a bit of an overreaction this week.
So to that point about battery day, September 22nd, I believe,
it's coming
I'm
up.
Getting the date correctly. What are you expecting
8
out
days
of that
away.
day? And I saw in your note that you were calling it a potential game-changing battery. How so?
Well, I mean, for Tesla, when you think about what differentiates Tesla from every other EV player, domestically and internationally.
There's a lot. But
so
one of them is
the
battery
brand,
tech.
the first mover advantage, Fremont, Giga, and of course Giga in Shanghai, Giga 3.
They weren't first mover. Didn't Toyota have electric cars and like hybrids, and then they had the Leaf? So I don't think they were first movers.
The battery technology, and if you look, that's been a huge part of what Tesla's been working on over the last year in terms of battery technology and innovations. Whether it's getting toward the 1,000,000-mile battery, whether it's getting further price parity, which is very significant from
constantly dropping the price.
When you compare it to traditional gasoline-fueled cars, as well as a third-party battery supply.
Change everything.
And I think part of why Tesla's treated different and valued differently, it's because of everything they've done under the hood in Fremont Giga. And I think once they lift the veil on that for battery day, I view as another incremental catalyst for the stock.
Yeah, like you said, it's going to be incremental. I think a lot of people are overhyping the battery day, the 1,000,000-mile battery. In the short term, it's not going to mean much for the cars. They can already last like a long time. They could last as long as a normal car. So all the 1,000,000-mile battery means is that's going to be big for the robotaxi fleet. So the robotaxis will be able to drive 1,000,000 miles before the battery has to be swapped out. It doesn't have to be swapped out. So here's a big misconception is I forget the exact. I should get the number, but the exact lifespan on the batteries now. It's not like once they hit that set amount, the battery shuts down. It'll degrade over time. So you can still use it years and years after. What the 1,000,000-mile battery means is it's going to be good for powering the grid. So if you have solar panels on your roof, you could use your car to store the energy and discharge the energy back into the grid. So that charging and discharging frequency degrades your battery. So if I did it, I have a Tesla Model 3. If I did it now, it would speed up the process of degrading my battery. So the 1,000,000-mile battery means that you'll be able to do that more without worrying about degrading your battery. So yeah.
How much of a bad news do you think that could spell for GM and Nikola, which are now partnering? When I
Nikola.
think of Nikola, I always
Oh
think
my
on
God. I got to
some
make a video
level,
on Nikola.
baby Tesla, obviously coming up after them.
Not a
But
baby Tesla.
Tesla right
Not at
now, and
all.
has been for a long time, just by and large, way out ahead of all other
God,
competitors.
I have to, oh my gosh. They're not baby Tesla. They're nothing. They haven't produced anything yet. Nikola. Neo, okay, I could see Neo. Neo has made cars. They're actually producing cars in China. But Nikola hasn't made a single truck. And this team up with GM and this whole thing that's come out, the article with Bloomberg, that's a whole nother video, and we're gonna talk about that. But the thing that gets me so not angry but kind of irritated is the mainstream media saying that, well, just one woman saying that Nikola is a baby Tesla. Oh my God, it's not even close.
Competitors when it comes to innovation. How much more room do you think this is going to put between them and all the other competitors that are trying to come up behind them?
Look, I think this is
I am glad she knows that Tesla's way ahead.
Boat. So I think it just speaks to the overall EV market. When you look at GM and Nikola, obviously a lot of noise this week around that story, but ultimately, I mean, that was really a validation. And it speaks to, you look at GM, I mean, the tens of billions that they're going to spend around battery technology. Right now, it's an arms race in terms of the EV market, not just domestically, internationally. We see it a lot in China as well. And that's why Tesla, they have a target on their back. And it comes down to continuing to differentiate themselves versus competition. That's going to be the key, but it all starts with what's under the hood in terms of battery technology.
Yeah, in terms of another thing about Nikola is that they were claiming to have this amazing, groundbreaking battery technology, and then they partner with GM, and they're going to use GM's batteries. So it's just like, wow.
So I have a two-part question for you, Dan, all coming out of China. You refer to the country as a linchpin for Tesla. I'm wondering if you could talk us through that. But also, too, Tesla is now doing something that they said they would not do, which is exporting cars from China. How is that going to be good for the company going forward?
Yeah, I mean, first, when it comes to China, if I go out next 2-3 years, I think eventually that's 40% overall units. So the reason it's a linchpin, really the heart and lung of the success story of Tesla, because it's about Giga 3 in demand, 4% penetrated, and I think a market that could be 7-8x bigger than what we see in the U.S. And I think China,
wow, 7-8x
that's really been
bigger.
A core part of the success even during this pandemic. More of a Teflon-like model. In terms of obviously shipping from China, look, it's something where that production has gotten to a point now where that is really a linchpin of the production and manufacturing facility. Now, of course, there's a bit of a margin hit, as you ship from China to other parts of the world. I don't see that as a sustainable trend.
No,
I
that's
think it
not
just
long
comes
term.
down to production at this point is at a point where they're going to continue to do that based on demand in China. But if there's any sort of overflow based on successful production, they'll ship those elsewhere.
Yeah. Okay. That was pretty cool. So yeah, I don't think the shipping out from China is a long-term thing. I think it's just for right now, and as soon as demand starts to go higher up in China, and then they have an overflow of cars, and they'll keep it in China. But yeah, the S&P 500 thing is not a big deal. They'll eventually be accepted in there. And then, there's just these incremental steps. So the S&P 500 is one, battery day, the million-mile battery. It's just these incremental leaps forward. So I am a Tesla shareholder. I started buying shares about 2 years ago, and I haven't stopped since. So I bought some more last week. I'm going to buy some more this week. So I'm actually a very long-term investor. So over 10 years, I'm planning on keeping these stocks. I think they're going to be one of the biggest companies in the world. So let's keep going on this journey, reacting to these videos, and I'll give you my thoughts. And I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. So don't be shy. Let me know what you think. Like the video, subscribe. I'm going to be pumping out videos all the time, mostly reaction style videos. I've been doing reaction videos on YouTube for over about 4 years now. I have like a couple other channels. So Just my love of Tesla and the stock and getting into investing and wealth building. I just want to have a place to get those thoughts out. So it'd be cool if you could join me, subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm out of here. Peace.